My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And today, we just taking it easy, man. We didn't feel like coming up with an interesting topic or watching a show or doing stuff.
We
so
didn't
we're
want
doing,
to do
like,
homework.
We've done a lot of homework lately. I want to
recently.
say.
Yeah,
By the
we
way.
put a lot of effort into some of these episodes that have come out recently. So it's the end of the year, and we got a really homework-heavy episode coming out next week. So we were like, you know what? Let's just do something that we never really do in an episode. We do these in streams sometimes, but we never really do in an episode. We're just gonna talk about whatever, man. We're just gonna chat about.
We have no plan. We literally did not
Literally
plan a
no
single
topic
thing.
at all.
Yeah.
No, the only thing written, like, we have like a shared doc that has like all the episodes. It just says just chatting. we tried behind lifting the veil, as I joke, like behind the scenes. We did try to like invite some other people to come join us, but everyone was busy, so no one could join us.
It is a busy time.
It's
like
a really busy time of year.
Maybe we'll try something in the beginning of the year or something. So.
Yeah, we'll try to make that happen. So we're just gonna talk about stuff. Everyone been doing good recently?
Okay.
Yeah.
Winding down for Christmas break, I guess.
Yeah. I told Natalia earlier I handed in my final assignment for the semester, so
yeah, you're free for another semester.
When does class start back for you?
Middle of January.
Oh, nice.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
get a little break. I just put up a Christmas tree yesterday.
Nice.
I don't know where we have like a storage hallway behind me that has just like all the boxes that we never bothered unpacking when we moved in like 4 years ago. And like the Christmas decorations are in there somewhere, but I didn't feel like getting them out but the tree wasn't there because I lent it to my neighbor last year. So I had just chucked it in our hallway closet, like in the front of the flat. And so I like pulled it out and put it up, and I was like, I don't want to go digging to find the ornaments because like the box is really heavy. I don't want to lift boxes. But then I remembered that I had made a G-Dragon tree topper as a bit of a loft of a few years ago, and it was just sitting on the bookshelf in my bedroom, and the tree's in my bedroom too because we have a real open concept apartment. So I just put the G-Dragon topper on top of the tree, and then I was like, this is a real vibe. So then, because I'm one of those people that it is a bit of a curse, it's a blessing and a curse, where I possess all of the tools and knowledge to just make whatever. You know?
And you're like, okay, need to go big.
And then I get into like an ADHD mania, right? And I just do something stupid. So then I printed out like 40 light sticks and cut them out by hand and punched holes in them and then hung them with yarn to the tree. So I have a cape.
Nice. Cute. Very cute.
It's very
fun.
It's what, to quote my husband when he saw it, when I finished it, he said, it has a certain sort of charm.
Nice.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
I appreciate G-Dragon's hair.
Yeah, I made it. So it's like, I did like the Fantastic Baby where he's like sitting on the throne and he has like the long hair
it's
coming
like
down.
cascading down.
Yeah, and then I like threaded in like reddish orange embroidery thread, so it like forms like a super long hair cascade that you can wrap around the tree. It's really stupid. You know what? On YouTube, I will have put an image up of this tree of the light stick thing. It's just, yeah. Sometimes these dumb ideas, they come to you, and then you just have to like free your soul of the curse of the ideas.
The thing is, I feel like every single person who heard you say, I have a G-Dragon tree topper, knew exactly what it was going to look like. They were all like, it's the hair!
It's the hair one! Like, there's something iconic about
it. Because aren't there like angel tree toppers that have hair that do that?
Yeah, like I think
at least ribbon.
Because I I like made it like 2 years ago, and I vaguely feel like I made it while I was like on a call with Jessie or something.
I feel like, yeah.
And I was just like, I have this really dumb idea for a tree topper that I think is going to be really funny.
And hey, early pandemic, you need to get what Joy got.
You needed to do whatever to keep
just
going.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
You know, because these days it's so different. It's not different.
So I was like, I painstakingly cut it, like, you know, went into Photoshop, the mask tool, masked it out. I made like a pointed star behind his head, made it double-sided. I do things sometimes. Genius and madness, aren't they really like one and the same, you know? So that's what's been going on here. Literally nothing else has been happening in my life. This time of year, I got nothing going on.
Yeah.
I've been in a very, like, whenever I can, if I'm able to watch a drama, I, like, end up binging the heck out of it. Like, 'tis the season, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
it's nice to kind of, like, cozy up and just, like, not move for, like, 8 hours.
Cinnamon bun yourself into bed.
Yeah.
Have you?
I do. I really enjoy it when it's a show that, like, you're not necessarily knowing that you're going to do that too, because some of them you're like, like, that's probably what's going to happen to me, so you kind of have to plan, like, that's what you're going to do. But when you don't expect this, like, oh, this is like crack for me, got it, like, and then you just keep going. It's totally fine.
Is there a show recented this has happened
I can't talk about that yet.
Okay,
no,
never mind.
okay.
Because I literally, the same thing happened to me last week, where I randomly started a show that I was like, I'll just check out the first episode, and then 8 hours had passed.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, well, watch most of that or all of that.
I was gonna say, I feel like I binged something else. It was The Trunk, which, I mean,
we did binge The Trunk. Yeah.
I started there's like, Hallmark has a murder mystery, a Christmas murder mystery series on right now. And I started it and I thought, oh, this is fun. 6 episodes. There was 3 out when I started it. I was like, what?
No.
It's currently airing. I'm like, what are you doing? But it's really enjoyable.
But do they solve one per episode?
It's so far it's like 1 per 2 episodes. So like,
so you're in the middle of a case?
Not now, because I only watched the first episode, and then I was like,
then you're smart.
I really like this. I'm gonna watch, tomorrow is the new episode, and then, on tomorrow, I watched all the episodes that were left, and then I was like,
I do that with Vicky all the time.
Left, so.
Before I forget, so I saw a little teaser on TikTok. It's for a show. It's a Canadian show. Indigenous people, like, evidently there's a broadcasting service, like, for them.
ANTP or
Yeah. So it's that one, and they even have, so I guess Lumi or something is their, like, the platform for it online. That if I were to be able to, the thing doesn't come out until January though. But this teaser
looks so good.
It looked so good. It pretty much followed this gal. She had gotten married, like, in high school, like right out of high school, and her husband is like the town golden boy, and everyone loves him, and he's like the it boy still. And she's just kind of the wife, the weird wife, like, just the accessory essentially. And machinations, she ends up like leaving that situation to where, so then she's like trying to find herself and find her purpose, and it kind of looks like she gets into like some level of government to like, and she's really good at connecting people in community, and she has to find herself within that. And so people really encourage her because, like, evidently through it looked really cool, and it looked really, really well done and stuff. I was like, I'm gonna try to watch that in January if I can, like if I'm able to figure out.
If I remember to do it, one, and can figure out how
the tab,
to watch it, two.
The tab is still up on my stuff. So.
Oh, dude, that's why the tab monster is taking over.
She has to find the tab.
Yeah, in a million of tabs.
I probably am at 60-something tabs right now.
Oh
that's actually.
I don't understand how your computer is functioning.
I literally like close down every tab at the end of every night, and on my phone I have it set that like after like 2 weeks, if I don't look at that tab, it just shuts the tab. It just closes it for me.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Very useful setting.
Sky anxiety.
Yeah, just think about. Well, listen. If I have a tab
accidentally turn that.
Like if it's something that it's really important, I bookmark it. I don't leave a tab open. I create a bookmark.
I'm trying to get better about that. I actually really am. So
listen, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm just thinking about the health of your computer. It doesn't sound like a jet engine taking off when you're like.
That's why I had to get a gaming level computer just in order to function on the computer.
Yeah. She just needs her tabs, okay?
She just needs them. They're her emotional support tabs.
Sometimes I do try to clear some of them out, and then it's like, a new project starts, and I have to like research. Yeah. That's how I do it. So, whatever. The people who know. I understand. It sounds very strange to people who don't do that.
In like something completely different, I just had to share this because it just came to my mind. Something I watched today that I have to tell you ladies about, and by extension, everyone listening to this, because I thought I had seen some of the most absurd plots.
Okay.
But let me tell you, I know I bring this up a lot, mostly on our streams. These Chinese TikTok dramas.
You always get those Chinese
I want to preface. You said you were going to stop watching those.
I did.
Right
I lied. Okay, I lied to you.
I
lied
to everyone.
I watched like 5 a day. Okay, I watched like 5 of them a day.
Number one fan.
Listen. I watched like I swear since I started watching them like a month ago, I've seen about like 60 of them. Like I'm in it to win it. But this one, listen. I've seen some crazy shit. So basically, like, I'm pretty sure they were riffing off of the concept of the K-drama Death's Game. Okay?
Okay.
Where, so it starts... Okay, just stay with me, because this goes crazy mode. So basically, this woman is like, there are always like these tragic female characters, right? She finds out she has cancer. She has a dad who's terrible and like a stepmom who abuses her and steals all her money. So she kills herself. Then she ends up in this church with like this sexy angel dude with a gun who's like, we're going to send you back to like, anyway, you get the concept. Like she has to go back
and is very Death's Game.
Literally Death's Game. So she's going through this series of like, she's in this series of women's bodies, and she ends up like just continuously adopting this same little girl from like the first body that she ends in. But like finding out about, it's not as crazy as Death's Game, except in one way, finding out about this guy that she knew in high school who had been in love with her this whole time. And like, anyway, blah, 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 blah. But at one point, okay, the last body she gets sent to, guys did not believe it, okay? She gets sent into the past, into her own mother's body, and gives birth to herself. No. I said no!
Wow! Wow!
You gave birth to yourself!
That's like post-conception?
Post-conception. She comes in as pregnant mother, okay? Who then gets institutionalized by her evil father and then goes insane. But after giving birth to herself, I was like, no! What are we... But the other funny thing that happens, and even, like, I watched them with my husband next to me, and he thinks this is the funniest shit, is that they all just steal Korean music as the background, which is fine on Douyin, the like Chinese TikTok, but they have to like distort the music when they put it on YouTube where I watch them, so they don't get picked up by bots. But sometimes they pick some inappropriate, music. I was watching one. I was like, y'all, I know, like, the sound vibe of this song and the topic of this song don't match, my friends. It was like a really like sexy, like sex scene, like, ooh, like they're getting together, like, you know.
Is it like how Netflix will change all the music for like Men on a Mission, and it's
yeah, but like no, they just like distort it. So it just sounds like shit. So it's just like an auditory nightmare to listen to. But they, over this like sexy, like, ooh, like they're finally getting together, like these, you know, sexy people finally having sex for the first time. Finally. They were playing Guilty by Taman. I lost my mind. I'm like, that song is so inappropriate to be playing for what is happening in this scene. But they love the Goblin OST. I've heard like distorted Goblin OST everywhere. They love, for some reason, the Strong Woman Do Bong Soon. I hear like the, like, anytime there's something like goofy happening, you know, that like cheerful OST that plays? I've heard that a million times. Descendants of the Sun, I have heard our boy Chen about 500 million times. Like, it's hilarious. These things, and I found other people who like are willing to admit that they too have the fever for the vertical dramas. They're absurd, and I recommend them so highly, but they're not good. Like, this is the thing. Remember, like, when we were talking about Defender drama, and it's the don't let good be the enemy of enjoyable.
Yeah,
that's what you really have to remember when getting into these vertical.
So the vertical dramas, how long are they typically?
They're like 2 hours. But like a lot of it,
when you're seeing them, it's a compilation of.
Yeah, they compile them into like a movie length situation. Okay. But like, here's the thing.
Because the other day I was like looking into a Chinese actor.
Yeah.
And a drama was like 10 minutes each
episode.
So
it would be like,
it made me wonder if it was that.
Yeah, it's that sort of thing. Except the ones that are, these are like 3 minutes, like 100 3-minute episodes. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, but like, there's a lot. Listen, I'm gonna be real. You have to skip ahead a little once in a while because it's a lot of just like people slapping each other. Like, it'll be like just dramatic slapping, and I'm like, yeah, so, okay, we're slapping each other. The recrash of the slapping.
For these Chinese vertical dramas, if there's a lot of slapping, is there an adjacent kimchi slap thing?
No,
like,
no, it's just a straight up backhand. Oh, okay. Like, but it'll always be like in really public places where I'm like, I'm pretty sure assault is still illegal in China.
The cops would come. Somebody would stop you.
Listen, I'm pretty sure if you're at like a high-end fancy party and your mortal enemy sees you and just comes out and backhands you, someone's calling security. Like, you're not just having like a hole where people are like, let's debate on whether she deserves to get slapped. It's like, no, I think that like you're both getting escorted out.
Have you seen that video with the 3 girls and like she's having a fight with her boyfriend or something, and they like do a little dance, and then her 2 friends lift her up so she can slap her boyfriend across the face?
That's really the energy of a lot of these dramas. Like, this is the other thing that Matthew, my husband, and I, like, he really enjoys this, is that they often they'll just directly translate idioms, and a lot of the times they don't make any sense. But a lot of the times they're so good that I wish they were idioms. Like, the one that I love, there was like someone just like,
are you getting deep wisdom from these vertical dramas?
No, this is deep wisdom. I'm just like really enjoying these expressions that are just directly translated to English. So it was like someone figured out something, but they're known for being kind of stupid. So it was like but then the guy's grandpa goes, well, a blind mouse happened, or a blind cat happens upon a dead mouse every once in a while. And I was like, that's such a good one.
That's a good one. That translates pretty well.
That translates really well.
Because a lot of times in dramas, when they do the I have no idea what's going on. It's totally cool. It's fine.
And then half the time, and by half the time I mean like 2/3 of the time, they translate the wrong pronouns. So all of the men will be referred to as her and all of the women as him. So like you gotta keep that, be like, okay, don't get confused. It's just a bad translation.
It just like keeps you on your toes. Like you have to actually like fill in, like you actually have to write it correctly in your head to make it work out. So it's,
and like
benefit.
The men are so terrible, but you're supposed they're such red flags. Like,
and then you're supposed to love them.
Listen, the domineering CEO is a popular.
Yes,
listen. Like, these women be marrying. Listen, China be rife with these sexy young billionaires who just happen upon these women who are just dumping their scumbag exes. That's they refer to them as their scumbag ex all the time. And then just needing for some reason to immediately get married because there's like a sick grandparent who's like, I'm going to die if you don't get married immediately. I'm like, damn, this can't, listen. These billionaires really gotta be talking to their grandparents about their expectations of their marital status. This isn't a healthy way to live. You can't just be marrying random women you pick up on the street after they have a fight with their boyfriend. That's crazy time. A lot of drugging. People getting drugged, and in hotels all the time.
It's wild and crazy over there.
Listen, a Wild West. It's real. It's really giving me a bad impression of how China. No, I'm kidding.
It's giving me a bad impression of Chinese billionaires.
Yeah, I already did
girls who have just
find these very. But it's like both the women and the men have been drugged, and oh no, for some reason they didn't lock the hotel room door. And wander into the wrong room. Like it's just like, okay, how many times can this possibly? What kind of pandemic of this sort of criminal activity could possibly be happening? They also all have the same actors, so
keep them there.
When did you start getting into this? Because it's been a while now. So when did you
start
really
on TikTok?
Hooked on it?
No, I didn't start on TikTok. I did start on YouTube, but I didn't start on the TikTok ones because there's WeTV makes short form, just regularly filmed short form dramas, and I started watching them in August, and then I was just watching them on YouTube because it was on the WeTV had it was a WeTV short form drama channel where they just upload the compilations of these ones that they make for whatever app they have in China for WeTV, whatever, the 10-cent app or something. Mm-hmm. And then it was oh, you like those? Here's some here YouTube, the algorithm's well, here's some more short form Chinese dramas, the magic of TikTok dramas, which was probably about October.
And YouTube suggested really get you.
It gets you.
It gets you it always has got you. I don't understand it because the algorithm changes every 2 days on YouTube because that's what they do.
Yeah.
But somehow, in over the decade that I've been, oh my god, it's almost 20 years of YouTube that I've been watching. I just did the math in my head. Every single time, it's we suggest this, and I'm yeah, just keep going.
It's absolutely, I do. Absolutely,
you are very right, YouTube. Absolutely.
Oh, it's the same couple from the one I watched 2 weeks ago, but now they're a.
Thank you so much for just
millionaire
handing it to me. I didn't
doctor.
know work.
Yeah, sure, man. Oh, he's not wearing glasses in this one. Yeah.
Oh, totally different person.
Let's do it. By the way, there's only 5 children actors that are in all of these, so you see these same kids in a rotation. You're oh, it's our old friend that 10-year-old playing the younger version of every male actor in the. I don't know if they're all made by one company or what the deal is, or with the ones that are on YouTube anyway.
Management company type thing, so it's all their actors.
Because there's this one actor who always plays a villain. I have yet to see him not be a piece of shit in a drama. There's this one pair of actors who've made 9 different shows together, and let me tell you, those little Puritans that were on Twitter would have not liked this because he's 35 and she's 23, so they'd be really upset about this pairing that people are really into. He seems like a nice guy. I don't know him in real life. I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah.
But these things are wild and they're addictive. They're garbage. And I keep telling myself, this is terrible because, like, I don't see drama watching as a chore. Like, it's not something I have to do. It's something I enjoy doing, right? But I'm just like, I'll be telling myself, like, I gotta stop watching these and watch an actual drama. Like, Natalia, you gotta stop watching these and watch
because there are other, like, longer form dramas that
you
want to
watch. But I'm just like, like my mind is like,
no, just one more.
Look, they just pulled up one that's like, she gets reborn into the villain to get revenge on her gambling father and scumbag ex. I'm like, oh, fuck, play. Yes, okay, I want to watch this same story that I've seen 9 times, told in a slightly different font.
Hey.
And then I will take a break. Like, I binged Family by Choice, the remake of Go Ahead, which was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was
You watched Go Ahead?
Well, I watched both. So I watched Go Ahead
like
a couple of years ago, or whenever it came out, I had watched it. And then I watched this again. And my opinion of the two remains the same. And that is that the two dads should have gotten together. That is, they had the most chemistry of anyone in this show. Were the two dads who were basically platonically married. They should have just...
like... And I think I saw the first 4 episodes of Family by Choice so far. And I agree with, like, there's chemistry there. I don't care. Like, there just is.
No, and the longer you go in the show, the more you're like, so
this is actually really a thing.
Is completely what's happening.
At one point, there's like a scene because like the one dad lives upstairs. They're like up and down neighbors. Like the one dad comes down, he's like, okay, here's the money for the kids' food this month. Like, you know, here's the expenses for the kids. And the other one's like, oh, thanks. And I'm just sitting here like, huh?
And then, but then it was also like, did you go buy the birthday present? Because I told you to buy the birthday present.
He's like, no, I didn't. I was working late. Like, I totally forgot. He's like, how could you, like, don't you even care about our kids? Like, and you're just sitting here. And it's like, at one point, it's like, they're having, like, this little, they're like, finally, like, we've saved up enough money to, like, do this nice thing for the kids. Because at one point, this is not even that big of a spoiler. They think one of the sons is, like, sort of a layabout. He comes back after a long time away, and they think he's just like a bum. So they're like, okay, we gotta, like, we've been saving up this money for all the kids' wedding, but maybe we should, like, use it to, like, open him up, like, a business or something, because, like, you know, he's a bit of a loser. Like, I think we gotta worry about this son of ours. And it's really sweet, because it's the one that's not actually related to any one in the show, because one of the kids isn't actually, like, one of the guys just, like, picks up this kid who's been abandoned.
Like, just come with us. Add another person.
No, like 100%. That's legitimately what happens. Yeah. Where he's like, "Oh, you have no dad, and your mom disappeared. I went on one date with your mom. Just come live with me," and then just raises him for the next 20 years. But like, it's really sweet. The show is really sweet. Good vibes. But then like, I was like, okay, good. Like, I watched a real show. Now I don't have to go back to my the dark passenger within me that demands.
As she clicks YouTube.
I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna open, because I've been watching this series that my favorite YouTuber, Samuel Streamer, has been doing, because he picked up playing Pokemon Fusion, which is like a fan-made Pokemon game. So I was like, oh, I'll go see if there's a new episode. But then when you open it, there it has like the 6 videos that it's like recommended, and there they are. A new one just freshly minted.
I guess Pokemon can just wait.
2 hours ago. And I'm just like,
sorry, I don't understand.
Siri, you aren't involved in this. Siri, you're not.
Get out of here, Siri.
I don't even have Siri like activated, so I don't know what's going on here, man. Phone
on my Android, it's called Bixby.
Yeah,
but if I say the word baby, that is definitely an endearing term that I do refer to my husband as a lot.
It picks it up.
Bixby that I don't have, like I don't ever use.
Yeah,
but it's always like, hey, I'm like,
get out of here.
Not you,
Bixby, right now, man. You're not part of this conversation.
Stop it. It always reminds me of when everybody talks about Bixby, the when Stray Kids was still doing their promotions with them, so they all had the phones, and then they would try to get like them like Bixby to reset to factory stand like settings because like on other people's phones, and it's just like them doing it constantly and like
just constantly trying to con other people's phones into resetting.
Like Felix is like, "Hey Bixby," and it's like very like much in his like Australian accent. I'm like, I don't know if she's gonna pick up on that.
So, Natalia, like, do you have a New Year's resolution concerning specifically your vertical drama addiction?
No, man, I'm just gonna give it.
You resolve to just continue your addiction.
Just listen, I'm just gonna continue being
going to be the one who's watched the most of
person.
them.
Listen,
I'm going to be person for it.
The world's foremost expert in these vertical dramas by the time.
I mean,
you're only a garbage person if you wish that the things that were happening in the dramas were happening in real life.
That's true.
So,
but like,
just watching was like whatever.
After I finished the one where she gave birth to herself, I put down
my
tablet. It was like, it's enough for today.
Enough. Yeah. I have a limit. I'm gonna go
watch something else. I can't do this.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you stumble upon like a good one. Like there's gems hidden within the garbage. Like, and you're just like, oh, that one was like really like genuinely nice, or like that one was genuinely interesting. And that, but you never know when you click play.
I find that like a lot with like some of the really smaller K-drama web stuff, like especially on YouTube, where it like maybe like is more like a makeup company doing them, or like a lifestyle channel doing them, and so like some of them are like, that was kind of boring, or that was kind of awkward, and then there'll like be one or two, and you're like, well, that was a really good little like drama there.
Like, that was really sweet. Like that was really nice. Like, yeah. But I don't understand how these are making money. Is like, because like you wouldn't make this many if they don't make money, because like they don't seem to have like super obvious product placement or anything besides like, you know, billionaires' cars. But you can't
make that much money on TikTok or you know like platforms, especially if you have a lot of people.
Like a lot of them, I think, are made on like pay per episode apps.
Yeah,
because there are like, you know, subscription based like, you know, vertical drama apps that do exist, but like, and I suppose like they do have a lot of views on YouTube.
Maybe so they do like have like donation based type of content where like people, you know how like on TikTok Live where like you can
like just
give coins or whatever it is, so it's like not even like a subscription based, or I guess.
Well, and like live streaming and stuff in China,
the live streaming
really different,
is
right?
crazy. Like it's really wild.
Yeah, but like it's not like donations, but not like subscription type of monetary. But like I don't know. I mean, I guess it also could be like if it was like just like trying to showcase the actors that you had. So it was like the motive behind it is like for those
like this is
to get in front.
Like they're making like, you know, what do you call those, like
reels or
your reels, like they're making their like, you know, to like shop around for jobs and stuff, or it could also be like, you know, like they used to do back in the day, like a sort of a training exercise, right? Like train actors.
And they're like, we're doing it anyway, we might as well film it and make some bucks.
Which would explain why there's just like 10 different plots that get retold slightly differently. But they are fascinating to watch in a strange way. Like I don't watch them going, oh, this is so good, I'm having this like just premium quality.
I have seen like recently on TikTok I like get pushed like English speaking like short verticals too. Like so it's like definitely a market everywhere.
And isn't there also kind of it's bits of either like Taiwanese movies or dramas, but I can tell that the clips that are being shared are not the entire plot. But I know like when I look into it, it's actually a movie or drama that does exist, but it's still doing the title thing of like I married a vampire or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can tell based on who's in it and the level of production value. The like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That it's not really the vertical drama thing, but it is like they will do like a few parts of half of this movie or something. And I'm just very confused by why they would do that too. And if you did
it's
one
like a
bit,
training
it would be a
exercise.
teaser. But like, it's obvious that it's just bits of these already and usually older, a fair bit older forms of media. It's probably just to get you to go onto whatever platform or website or whatever. But I've noticed that too.
I guess it's kind of like akin to like when they do like they'll give screeners to like film critics and stuff, but like they're not actual full movies. They're like the first 15 or 20 minutes of the thing, so it's like a substantial amount, but it's not a full thing. It might be kind of in that like realm where they've like found that if you have a certain, you know, minutes long section of a thing, like more people are willing to invest or, you know, like figure out if you should be maybe like re-releasing it or like reprinting stuff like DVDs or whatever.
Yeah, and I will say, like, the ones I see, it's always some reputable channel. Like, it's not just a fan.
It's just like a fan edit.
Somewhere.
Yeah,
but
which does
it's
happen
very
on
much
TikTok
like
all the time.
It's very much. It seems like some. It's kind of like that. What was it? Drama Serial or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The Serial.
Serial. It was just Serial.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
With a C, like the food.
Like the food. Yeah.
Like the food.
Yeah, they would post like the first episode of something, and then
or like just have it up for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, which then I would get used to it being there, and then I would like tell people to go check it out, and then I would realize I just did a really douchey thing.
Yeah, and then like in the very beginning, they weren't doing that. They were actually like keeping them up.
Yeah. Like, they had them, and it was older dramas. Again, like these were much older dramas.
I think it was like produced by CJ Entertainment, which maybe the reason they stopped doing is that they started doing stuff. I know like they've been doing stuff with Tubi, so maybe they just like redirected,
found a different place to funnel it.
Yeah,
Tubi does have a lot of stuff on there now, so
it's interesting to think about these things because like we genuinely don't know.
Yeah,
and a lot of the times it's like not information that these studios actually like release to people to like let
certainly not in English where we could
well, and like we're not like also not in the industry too.
Yeah
there's a lot of stuff that I feel like
theater,
even though
but that's not it.
Even though I try to keep up on like where some things will be, like for instance the other day, like our friend Katie, friend of the podcast, Katie, she was like, hey, that Renting in Finland or what, you know, whatever that variety show that has all the people that we're interested in. She's like, do you know where that's gonna be? Because it hadn't been announced. Like MDL wasn't showing anything yet, and it's a TVing thing. And I'm like, TVing. Like I'm like, I can't tell you because I kind of checked the few places that I would have known to look, and I was like, you just kind of have to see. And then sure enough, like in a week or two, finally Vicky was like, hey, it's going to be coming out in such and such time. It'll be on Vicky for US people at least. And I was like, well, here it is. So I sent it to her, but I'm going, I can't guess where stuff, like I'm not, until they tell me, I don't know where anything is unless it's an obvious like Netflix produced thing.
So hard.
Or whatever.
Like we never, like, to be honest, like sometimes you don't know where something appears, like where it's going to be until it's just there.
You really don't. And we're like very like much more active in like trying to find things because of like the live streams. Like I think we're like more focused on it because it's just like a knowledge that we need to do for like the podcast things that we're doing. And it's just like you never know what's going to appear. Like Netflix even will just like drop something within a day, and like and then they'll also tell you about something like 7 months in advance, so you never can guess,
or like 7 months in advance, and then it won't show up. Then you'll have to wait like another year and a half or something. You're like, well,
and then more recently, it feels like I will say, in this very moment in time, at least for United States Netflix and K-dramas, and when I say older K-dramas, I'm not meaning anciently old K-dramas, but I mean, for instance, Happiness, okay?
Yeah.
Like, no Happiness is coming onto Netflix. Or is it already there?
It is already there
Should be
today. Today.
Happy Happiness Day, everybody. Check out our Happiness episode. But so like the other, for instance, I brought this up, but it's not that it bothered me that much. It's more like it checked me with knowing, oh, USA Netflix isn't doing the same thing that a lot of other countries Netflix is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So my dearest, I watched it on Kokoa. Okay, I'm American. I watched it on Kokoa, which is fine. It's still there. That's great. Lovely. But since it was coming to Netflix, and so even like the Twitter that promotes all the K-dramas on Netflix, they're like, hey, it's coming. And I was getting so jazzed to like be able to push it out to people just a little bit more. Yeah. And then that time came and went, and I'm like, it's not there. And then I kept checking for about a week or so, and it never showed up for us.
Well, that's also weird because
which is like, fine, but I found that odd.
It actually like US run sides of like the Netflix accounts were talking about it like it was coming. And that was the problem. It wasn't like it was you just kind of saw it randomly too. Like if it was just like people talking about it, it was like, no, this is actually like a US
like they're promoting it.
Yeah, but it wasn't anywhere, and to this day I don't think I've seen it.
Like, but I think it was also like not even like worldwide. I think it was just like in the Philippines. I think it was just very localized somewhere else, and I was like, oh. And I had to like, and it's like
that's great.
For
that's great that it's available for them, but it was just interesting that it really did feel like. So anymore, I'm like, I'm not
denying
even anything until I
see it.
You know, you just have to hand it to me now.
Like, part of that I was like, hey, it's coming. Like,
you don't want to get your hopes up, and then you're just like, nope, we're not going to do it.
Kidding. Do you think I would have learned that by now? Like, you know,
listen,
we get got
like drama fever.
It's because we're in a time where we're getting so much stuff too, like comparatively to when we first like started watching. So we're not used to like having as like low of a pool of things or like places to go or whatever.
Yeah.
What's wild?
I will say, as of today, it's still not available on Netflix USA.
Yeah.
I just find it wild how many new K-drama fans have no clue about like Vicky or Kokoa, and then nobody's telling them either. Like I saw somebody go on like on Blue Sky, and they were talking about, like I keep hearing people talk about Coffee Prince, and somebody was in their mentions, and they're like, Coffee Prince is so good. I wish it was widely available, like on a streaming site. I was like, it's on like 8 streaming sites.
I hate when people do that. It is. And it's also like a simple Google search away. It will tell you exactly.
I was gonna say, okay, Google search might be shitty these days, but for that, it still works.
Like, but also, like, if you know that you didn't do the like work, you didn't actively look for it, then why are you saying like this? Like, there's no reason.
And this was somebody who said, they were saying like, I would recommend this drama to so many more people if it was available. And I was like, where are you? Because it's available everywhere. I don't know what you're, but I don't know you. So like, I don't want to come in and be
it's
like,
on Apple TV, guys.
Like, it's everywhere. I'm like, that's not actually really easy. And like a lot of people on Blue Sky who would be like, so which is better for K-drama, Netflix or Disney? And I'd be like, Vicky.
Neither.
And they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, Vicky.com. Like, go to Vicky.
Yeah, but it's also kind of like one of those things you're like, but like also like, how do I explain to you that like each of these services have different things and they don't have like a lot of overlap, so I can't choose one over the other because like,
but like, to be honest,
but like you should be looking at Vicky if you're into dramas.
Everyone should be used to that because Western shows, okay?
Yeah.
Same. Like we have Paramount, we have Disney, we have Hulu. You know, like all these different platforms, Apple, like all the stuff. You can't just You
go to
can
one.
you can just stick to Netflix,
but like
you're
you can't
stuck.
like
You're not
watch.
gonna be able to watch everything.
If you want the most, if you want, where can I get the most K-drama, the most J-drama, the most Vicky is going to give you the most of
if you're like
everything.
Like,
I want K-drama, but also other countries' dramas. Well,
like,
maybe Netflix is the one that you want. Like,
but also like
if you're already paying for it, like why wouldn't you?
Tubi, that's usually the thing.
Yeah, Tubi
has a bunch of older dramas and newer dramas, and it's free. It doesn't. We're not sponsored by any of these people. In fact, I have a long-running grudge against Vicky, but like I still use it, and like I will still admit when shows are on there. I just listen. I just got beef
with their rating system.
We would have less beef without. You should pay your subbers.
You are part of a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah,
Rakuten
and if it's gay, it doesn't mean it's rated R. Okay. Listen, we got long-running beef with Vicky, but
listen, I mean, like also like Tubi is owned by Fox, and like whatever. But
Tubi is free.
Free. The ads aren't that bad.
No. They really aren't.
And
like,
the amount of free stuff, especially if you love movies, there are literally hundreds of Asian horror movies right now on Tubi for free. Hundreds. Like it's so extensive that you actually can't go through and like just like mindlessly scroll to find something to pick up on Tubi because there's just like too much there.
Like I'm literally right now as we talk looking at their K-drama category. They've got some real bangers, okay? Yeah. They've got Save Me, one of Jessie's favorite girls. Great. They got Witch's Love. They got Oh My Ghost. They have Signal.
Oh,
they've got My Ideas Gang and Beauty. They've got another fave of the show, Bring It On Ghost. They've got the K2 if you're into that. They've got Cheese in the Trap. They got Secret Affair if you're want some real spicy. Like they've got my favorite drama, The Heirs.
Inheritors on Netflix.
Literally my least
favorite. The Inheritors. What I find funny is that I sat down one day and was like, oh, Alienoid, I'm going to watch this on Prime, right? But no, it's the second one is on Prime. But the first one's on Tubi. So
it's kind of like how, what is it? The Tale of the Nine-Tailed? Where like
one's
on Prime.
Or, you know,
Arthdal.
If you want to watch
that Arthdal thing was weird.
That was such a fumble.
That's like
it was dead.
You shouldn't have let it lapse. It's like it's very clear that someone wasn't thinking and they didn't like re-up their like license. It's so funny.
And also, like, the K-drama movie selection on Tubi is actually crazy. Like, the Korean movie selection.
Yeah, there's so much.
They've got the Three Musketeers.
Also, but, like, there's always just some things that I want, like, newer Asian drama watching folks to know about. Like, Korean movies are not necessarily going to be the same rating scale as Korean shows. Like, you need to know that before you press play. If you're cool, you're cool. But like, just know that Frozen Flower is not necessarily
like your mom. You don't want the mom in the room.
Frozen Flower also on Tubi.
I think the first Korean movie I ever watched was My PS Partner, and you're like, your phone sex partner. Okay. Hello.
Wow. You're doing more than just phone sex.
It is a great movie, but like,
all right, she's okay. No, I remember that.
Well, hello.
I remember watching that, and I was like, is he? Oh,
he is
rated R. I see. Tubi's also got Fool's Love or Hogu's Love, one of my other favorite ones. Like, listen, it's got a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and they have a couple like C dramas and J dramas too. Like not just Korean.
And the movie selection is wild.
Yeah, so. the really like honestly like it has a bunch of everything, and it has a bunch of like American shows and like other TV shows, not just like outside of Asia. But it really where Tubi is at its overexcel is movies. Like you just keep scrolling through and you're like, I I don't even know where to start. And it
they got Rampant. Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, I'm just having a fun time scrolling through Tubi as we talk here.
Tubi has a lot of, apparently also, like, sort of like the American vertical drama versions of movies. Like, it's got a lot of those, like, B movies
it does B movies and independent movies. Yeah, they tend to, like, show up there.
I have a hard time watching these terrible English movies because I can't handle the cringe in a language I understand.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I get that.
The cringe registers differently, doesn't it?
Yeah, like when you don't understand
differently when it's like coming from the mouth of the person who's doing it and you understand it like without reading a single thing. You're like, oh.
It's why I have a hard time with Filipino shows. Because a lot
like
of them
sometimes
kind of look like a lot of the
English.
ones that are available are a little like low budget and cringe. And I'm like, I can understand you. It's too cringe. I can't. Like, I can't get it.
My son and I have, because Christmas is coming up, we're like doing our Christmas crafting and stuff. And it's hard to watch subtitles when you're crafting. So he's like, Mom, we could just put the dub on. I'm like, okay, we could. And it's such a, like, One Piece is a Saturday morning cartoon with swearing when it's dubbed in English, but like in Japanese, it's just cool, right? And it's kind of like, but like in English, you're like, some of them have good voices, and you're like, that's kind of cool, and some of them you're just like, oh no, please stop talking now.
I have a really hard time with dubs, so I never watch dubs on anime, except for there's one show. There's one show that I literally, the English dub was so funny that it was like Uramachi's like Guide to Life or something. What was it called?
I don't like when the voice movement is not like matching the like sound that you're hearing. I can't, my brain doesn't want to do that. And so some of the Chinese drama dubs are so different that like throws me off because I'll like just be constantly just watching their mouth, and I can't be watching their mouth. I don't know Chinese or anything, so I need to be reading the subs. You know?
Yeah.
Speaking of Chinese dramas, because like I haven't like this year I haven't had a lot of time, so I haven't watched as many Chinese dramas, but lately sometimes when I step out of watching Chinese dramas, then I step back in, and then I'm like, wait, I'm struggling because, for instance, they'll be talking about a secondary character, and it's like, all of a sudden the secondary character's like, brother so-and-so. And so I think it's her brother for a while. Right. And then I'm like, he's being all romantical. He better not be her brother.
It's a brother.
And then it's like, oh, quote-unquote brother. I was like, I forgot. Good. Like, I forgot that was what we're doing.
It could be anything. And I've got the title again of the one anime that I recommend watching in an English dub because the English dub is actually hysterical, and it's Life Lessons with Uramachi Onisan, which follows a depressed 31-year-old performer on a children's show, but he's like incredibly like nihilistic and depressed, and all the other people who work on the show are just equally as just like messed up. And it is, I don't know who they got to do this English dub, but they were on some other level of hilarious. Like, they understood exactly what they should be doing. And I've also heard the Dungeon Meshi English dub is really good. The Delicious in Dungeon.
Okay.
On Netflix.
I haven't started that one yet.
I think like all the Studio Ghibli movies are
they're
dubbed
pretty good.
Pretty well.
And I think they can be. Like, what we
it's like definitely can be.
We started something new. And we just started it in dub, because then you're not comparing it to anything, right? Like, these are their voices. So, and then it was fine, right? But,
speaking of, have you ever seen bits of like Skullface Bookseller Honda-san?
No, I have. I've seen the little
so clips, funny.
Little clips.
Yeah, I recommend. Very funny. He's very like I wouldn't say he's sarcastic, but he's like for instance, the clip that I always remember is, so he's a bookseller. He has a skull face. Don't know why. He just does. I feel like the other employees also have weird heads for whatever reason. It's just a thing.
It's anime. It can be whatever.
And so someone that was speaking English comes up to him and asks for a book, and so he suddenly, like, in stilted English, like, tries to answer and stuff.
Oh,
and
I think I've seen clips of this. Yes, like he's like a skeleton for some reason. Yeah.
It just always feels like really, like, kind of skit comedy. Like, it's just really funny the way he handles it and stuff. And then it's always just kind of awkward. And anyway, that's why I recommend it, because you talking about the nihilistic whatever, it just reminded me of that for some reason, because it's always just like workplace silliness.
Yeah. Like in this one, like Life Lessons with Urmi Gioni-san, it'll be like he'll be in the middle of doing like the show with like the, you know how they'll have like those shows that have like the kids that come on the show with like and are participating on the show, and he'll be like, and you know, you should really enjoy yourself now before the crushing weight of reality comes down on you and you find yourself 31 years old performing on this terrible children's show on public television. And like one of the kids will be like, that's pretty dark, Oni-san. He's like, yes it is. It's such a, just, the show gets me. Like, it's my type of humor perfectly. So
my son's watching one right now. I can't remember what it's called, like Dr. Stone or something. And the premise is it's like 1,500 years in the future after this terrible disease wipes through the human race and turns us all into like stone statues. But this one guy has like this acid, naturally occurring acid dripping on his statue, and eventually it cures him enough that he can like break free. And he's so smart that he has spent like the last 1,500 years like awake, thinking and making himself smarter. And
that sounds boring to me.
And he knows, he understands why he was able to get out, so then he frees some other people or something. I don't know. I didn't watch the first couple episodes, but I'm watching this one episode with my son, and it's like the bad guy is like, hey, the bad guy, quote, air quote, we have an opportunity to restart civilization without like the CEOs and the politicians. Like, let's just revive the farmers and the people who are useful and kind. And then, then he goes around and starts smashing statues of people he thinks are bad, which I don't know how you tell, but whatever.
Just the vibes were off. The vibes were off, Amanda.
Right? But like, the good guys are like, we have to stop him from killing all of humanity. And you're like, okay, cool. So we have to recreate mankind's greatest invention. And I'm like, okay, so like fire, the wheel, maybe bow and arrow? No, gunpowder. Because he has to recreate guns. And I was like, dude,
you're really jumping ahead.
The other guy's point right now, like we could start all over again. Let's weapons of mass destruction. Let's go there right off the bat.
How human.
Right? I'm like, oh, good.
Used all those years well.
Sigh.
I sigh.
I love these little chats that we do. If anyone's like curious, like if it's like, oh, are they just like performing for the camera? No, this is just the shit that we talk about after we stop recording episodes. Right. And like we will literally just keep talking for like another hour about whatever, you know.
Or when we're having this conversation before we hit record and we're like, dang, we should have recorded 20 minutes ago.
But it's nice to have just like a chill episode where we just talk about whatever, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I actually was going to say, I was going to circle back to like, as far as talking to new folks on Blue Sky and stuff. So, man, I almost had it again in my brain and then it just left.
Classic.
But it really was. Back when when I started watching dramas, you guys started watching dramas earlier than I did. But when I did back in 2018, things were kind of, certain shows were on a platform for longer, so you could actually be like,
that's true.
Oh, you want to know where such and such always is.
Yeah.
Okay, it's always over on Viki. And that was like the answer. Like it wasn't and sometimes it was, oh, it's also Netflix too. But like stuff stayed longer in their places typically for a while.
Sure.
But it's nice that things have shifted to be more widely available. So like that's great.
Yeah.
But as far as that's why sometimes we do episodes where we are like, hey, we're gonna tell you like recommended for new people on Netflix from us. Here's what it is. It's like, but this is gonna change in 2 months. So like,
who knows?
It's hard.
We do our best, man. That's all you can do. That's all you can do these days.
So stuff does shift a lot, and that's I will find myself like I'll be trying to. We get kind of shocked when we do like an actor deep dive, and we will be like wanting to maybe like rewatch a bit of a show from an actor or something. And we will remember when it was on like Netflix or when it was on Viki a long time ago or whatever. And then we assume it's a popular show, whatever it is. Yeah. Surely it's still there. You would think it would still be there.
You would assume.
It's not there. Like it'll just be gone. And you're like, okay, it should be somewhere else because it could be like Coffee Prince level popular or something. And it's just like gone. You're like, I don't know what to say about that.
That are people's favorite show and like show up consistently on people's favorites lists and are just gone
nowhere.
Like they do not exist anywhere anymore at all.
Circle.
And it's like
Circle. Yeah. Wasn't it on Tubi for a little bit?
It was on Tubi for a bit. Yeah.
I didn't see it on the list there, but they've added Fool's Love or Hoku's Love, so like that's something.
Yeah.
Same, but totally different.
And another thing is like some people really encourage getting like physical versions. So they won't be speaking about Asian dramas. I'll circle back to that in a second. But they'll be talking about like, hey, instead of depending on these streamers that will like act your favorite movie, but they're usually talking about like older movies, like go ahead and get the DVD of it or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm bringing this up because it was announced today that LG is going to stop making Blu-ray, like I think DVD players or Blu-ray players here soon. So like that's it. Yeah.
Like physical media needs to keep existing.
Seriously.
So that's why I'm bringing it up. Physical media. Like I actually would love to invest in like, hey, physical media of my like favorite Asian dramas. Where I wouldn't have to sit here and stress out about, wow, is Goblin not going to be available again somewhere? Like that's weird. That's weird when that shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And so, but the reality is, even if you go find the few that are popular enough to have official, like DVDs, a lot of times don't have English subs, and then if they do, they might be region locked to somewhere that
and they're also super expensive.
They are,
and
they
usually are all on like limited runs anyway. So like by the time you get it, it's just like already picked through. Like sometimes you can get lucky and like if you have like there's like a favorite person in the cast, especially if like it's a favorite K-pop idol, there'll be like fan projects that happen and they'll do like a fan still, this is not like legal, but like they'll have like a fan like DVD set that they'll make themselves, but that's like obviously also not like an exclusive thing that you can find all the time.
And it's not just the Asian dramas and stuff too. Like I saw a thing today where somebody was talking about how 28 Days and 28 Days Later are not available for streaming anywhere, and
they're available for streaming in Jessie's house on her DVD.
But the DVDs aren't like being made anymore.
They are. I'm so glad I'm like cherishing them now. I'm like, do not leave.
I know. When they say, like, if you could go back in time and tell, 20 years and tell yourself anything, what would it be? Keep your DVD collection. Netflix is not what you think it is.
No, don't move with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you really... So, another aspect is, Asian drama or not, like, if one of your favorite shows or movies is streamer original...
Oh, yeah.
Tough cookies, man. it's probably not going to be on DVD for you because like
and it
there
doesn't
are
matter
exceptions.
who
Like
is
Stranger Things is an exception,
Yeah.
right? But like typically, if you want Squid Game, you're not going to get that on DVD. Like it's just not. I would love to have physical of like Our Flag Means Death. It does not exist.
Yeah.
So like you just have to accept
They
that.
don't.
So sad.
Yeah.
Well, and
it's
even,
so
you know, like I would
freaking
say,
greedy.
like, go out and get like a DVD recorder, like a DVR, and record your shows or whatever, like we used to back in the day. But one of the things, I used to have a DVR, and when it died, those DVR like recordings would not play on any other DVD players. They were locked to that device. So like,
but you also know
I
it's
have
like
these DVDs that I refuse to throw out because they've got these things on them that I want, but like nothing will unlock them.
But you know what was also like so much fun about the like box sets of DVDs of your favorite show? Like all the freaking extras that were on the box set.
Like,
so like you have like
commentary,
a commentary or
like,
little Easter eggs,
scenes,
behind
bloopers.
the scenes, bloopers. Oh my god, blooper reels, like
so good.
They're so good, and we don't have those anymore.
Oh,
like we have like maybe some like behind the scenes stuff, but like blooper reels.
It's really funny because on iQIYI, Natalia's favorite streaming service, not sponsored, some Thai shows will have like special content. Like it'll put out an episode and then immediately also put out like a behind the scenes special episode or like an interview with the actors.
That's so fun.
And I'm always just like, this is fun.
I mean, like I guess K-dramas do it a lot in like the last episode, the like ending credits will always have like production photos. You know. So that's nice. But like, yeah, just like I miss commentary. Like, oh gosh, there's so much fun.
I go if I'm into a show enough, I go absolutely.
I want to know everything. YouTube. I want to know every actor to tell me exactly what they were thinking at that one time. Like I'll just like, that's all I want. I want every bit of information of it.
So Alchemy of Souls, I guarantee you, I have seen every behind the scenes anything about Alchemy of Souls. Is all of it subbed? Some of it is not. Like, so did I just watch a lot of stuff that I have no idea what was? Yes, I did. I had a lot of fun doing it. But it's hard to find. Like, it's really only because I know where to look. And again, usually it's not sub. So it's like, I'm just like, no, I'm just vibing, watching people, you know, laugh when they mess up at their lines. And so like,
stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed that like Japanese dramas will form a TikTok page, and then that's where they put like their extra stuff or like their behind the scenes stuff. So it'll be like what the cast is doing in between takes and stuff, and it's just like this one that they'll have during the entire run of the show, and it's just random things behind the scenes.
And with TikTok
oh yeah, so like listen,
sorry, America.
I need to be able to send Sky random animal videos all the time. And it'd be like the same ones that like she probably already gets in her feed. I know that.
Yes. But we have fun. It's important. And my husband and I, like, we still do, so whenever he's at work all weekend taking care of people at the hospital, and if he has like a shift that is very much not busy, we used to text more, which we text a little bit like just about like getting things done, but anymore it's like, here's all the weird things that have happened in the world the whole weekend that you have not known about, or here's like silly crud that's like really funny to laugh at. But you know, like people doing voiceover for cats or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't want to send each other reels. Don't make us go on reels. Don't make us do reels.
But that's the thing. I have, back during the first scare about this, I've already followed like
all the people on.
You found everybody on Insta.
I was forced to make my Instagram into what my TikTok had become, which is just a huge mess of following a lot of different types of people.
If Musk was like actually smart, he would not want this TikTok ban. I know he doesn't want it because he wants to suppress people's voices. That's what thing, whatever.
Yeah.
But if he was actually smart, because no one's going back to Twitter. So what happened was Mark Zuckerberg actually like profiting over this like happening.
Yeah.
And like, so if Elon Musk would just think about that, he'd be like, don't do it, and then have some pool.
The number of people,
fucking up.
A lot of people did not move to Blue Sky. They moved to Threads. A lot of people are moving to, you know, Instagram
and I mean,
Reels. Like they're all going to the Zuckerberg, man. Like
and like they're not even really going over to YouTube as well. But like everybody has an Instagram page on, you know, TikTok, and they're like,
I enjoy YouTube Shorts.
I do too.
If they're made for YouTube.
I find my IG algorithm is better, or it updates more frequently, like and faster. So like one day I found this like D&D guy who was talking about stuff that I thought was hilarious. So I watched a bunch of his stuff, and now like for like 3 days, all I get are like suggestions of Dungeons. I'm like, I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't want the technical stuff.
I just thought it was a fun bit.
Videos, like, you know.
I have like a nail Instagram, and I don't know. I only follow nail accounts. Okay, and I only interact with nail related content, but for some reason it keeps trying to send me like just, I don't know what regular people who are into nails are into, because there's a lot of just like straight couples who hate each other, comedy in air quotes.
You're on hetero.
Yeah. I'm like, how did I get I just wanted to look at nails. I just wanted to look at nail art. Why am I on hetero couple comedy air quotes? Where it's just like, oh, ha ha ha, your wife takes a long time to get ready. What comedy?
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, show me some nail art. That's why I am here, Instagram. I would like to see some ideas for my own nails. I don't want to see this garbage.
Whereas, since I followed all this different stuff, Instagram now is like, hey, here's this like random person dressed really androgynous. I'm like, cool. Like that's sure that lines up with probably all the stuff that I've followed. Oh, it's funny.
Ridiculous.
Social media, the way everything has changed just in the past 5 years, though, with you know what platforms certain dramas are on, or social media at this point, it's kind of mind bending, and the reality, like, it just proves how, and it happens in real, like, not just on internet side too. Like this has happened with me. Like I used to have favorite restaurants in town, right? And there were things that had been there well before I was even in town. And so I would think, oh, it's always going to be here. And then closes down. And then you move to a different restaurant. It's like, okay, this is now the comfort restaurant. They closed down. And that was before the pandemic, much less when the pandemic wiped out like a ton of restaurants.
Yeah.
And so it's just, the reality is everything can be very fleeting.
Yeah.
It's really hard to deal with whenever you're dealing with other stuff.
Really.
You're like, I just want this to be here. Can you give me my comfort show back? My comfort restaurant.
Don't fuck around and move Goblin. Like, Goblin was nowhere for a little bit. That was rude.
Yeah.
Don't do that. It's weird.
Yeah.
Or like the Drama Fever shows that were on Drama Fever, and then they were in the
there was like a year where they were nowhere.
Yeah,
because there was like a good year between Jessie, Sky, and I were all watching 100 Days My Prince.
Oh my gosh,
Drama Fever, and then it disappeared with like 6 episodes left. Like not even, it was like 4 episodes left.
It was also the same with
then, like,
Beauty. The
Beauty Inside.
Beauty Inside.
Yeah. And then they reappeared on Netflix like a year later, and we were like, quick!
Finish
We gotta find out what happens with the envoys.
Oh my gosh. So yeah,
and now since Twitter is, we're no longer on Twitter, our good envoy bit.
Oh my god.
That was like a good solid month of envoy jokes.
That was really only for us, and for us only. We forced everyone into it.
I'm sure we were just annoying people.
I made GIFs, meme GIFs of Dio with envoy jokes that nobody understood.
Those were the
days. They
really were.
But you know what? We'll find new days.
I find that Blue Sky is a weird mix between what Twitter used to be like when I first got into like K-drama Twitter, and like I feel old. Like I feel like I'm rusting away and dying
Blue
because
Sky does make me feel
there's
old.
so many kids, like, and not even kids, like adults and stuff, but there's so many K-drama babies over there who discovered K-drama like this year, and you see them now because the algorithms are so much more well designed,
friendly,
Sky and stuff, right? So you actually can find the new K-drama babies and stuff, but it's just sort of like they'll be like, "Oh, I watched this incredible old drama," and it's like something that is 5 years old, and you're like,
my first K-drama that came out like last year.
Was it until you watch M get back to us? Then we'll talk to you about old dramas. But
it's good. It's good that there's like always new people finding the medium and getting into it and stuff, right?
New potential friends. I like to think of them as. They're just friends we haven't met yet. Am I right, ladies?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ooh. Just like everyone who finds this randomly on this episode, that is not like any other episode we've ever done.
It's true.
New potential friends.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome. Thank you for hanging out with us. Good times. Good times. Yeah.
No quits. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? This was a fun chat. We should do this again.
We should.
Even though, like, next week we're back to our normal nonsense. We got a real banger planned. I'm really excited for next week's episode. We're bringing back a classic bit that we do. It's a classic. A Noonas classic. And it's gonna be fun. I'm like really excited about it because I'm excited to see what everyone's doing. Really excited to talk about things. So anyway, we'll be back next week at our usual time, which is Monday morning. There's a new episode that goes out, so you can enjoy it on your Monday morning commute. That's the goal. Anyway, we hope you have a fantastic week. Until then, you can find us wherever podcasts can be found. We're in video on YouTube. Hello, YouTube people. Like and subscribe, as they say. But if you want to find out links and time codes and everything, you got to go to CertifiedNoonas.com, our website, where we have all that information. Every single episode we've ever done, you can listen to on CertifiedNoonas.com.
Even the really outdated ones that have information that no longer is relevant.
But like we can't control that, okay? I don't have it in me to go back to like multiple years of weekly episodes every week to update the information. Sorry, just listen. We're only guaranteeing like the last 3 episodes at any given time are accurate with where to find things. Anyway, and if you want to support this podcast like the incredible people that do, you can go to patreon.com/CertifiedNoonas to join the Found Family. They're a Found Family on the web. We just put up a new little special episode for them all about Blue Sky, actually, where we were talking about that. And we put other little mini episodes. We have plans to do, we got some good episode topics for just the Found Family coming up. And we have a movie night every month, and we have a good time, man. We have a good time. We have live streams occasionally on our YouTube channel that you can come and hang out with us. Check out our Blue Sky or our Instagram, because we will post when those will be happening. Anyway, we hope you have a fantastic week. Wash your hands, wear a mask, and bundle up if it's cold where you are, because it's cold where I am, that's for sure. And as always, keep enjoying Asian entertainment. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.